Alright, Major, here we go. I'm gonna work on your 450. Let's see, adjust the camera down just a little bit. Let's see here, there we go. Alright. That over on the couch, that's my co-pilot Layla dog. Behind there, you see, behind your helicopter, that's the 600 we're gonna be going through here shortly. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the blades. We're not going to need the canopy, so we'll set that aside. And I believe we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, Allen wrenches. This is an Align multi-tool kit, pitch gauge, double checker pitches, ball link pliers if you have them, or needle nose pliers. Either will work. Let's see, I believe it's that one right there. Anytime you work on a helicopter, you want to remove the blades, especially if you're going to power it up or anything like that, because you sure don't want to get whacked by one. I can tell you right now, this 450 hurts when it hits you at power. Yes, I've done it. I thought it broke my arm. With the same style blades as what we have on it right now, the wood ones. You can't get the nut to fall out. You could just take your Allen wrench and just poke through there, and it'll knock the nut out. And then I always run my bolt through the blade and just kind of lightly screw the nut back down. Yeah. It even works vice versa too. Well, that one sure is cooperating. Alright. Oh, and we got the manual pulled up on the computer too, with the breakdown and everything. Alrighty. So what we want to do now, I'm going to go ahead and pull the tail blades. That way, when we get ready to run it, it will not move. The only danger we're going to have is the fly bar. This is also where you're going to need a needle nose pliers. And I do the same thing. Oh, that tail had a shim in it. I don't recall the tail having a shim, but we'll look at the schematic and double check. Yeah, there's a shim on this side as well. Alright, anytime you go to reassemble your blades or whatever, your main rotor always spins clockwise. So, and if you look at your tail rotor, it spins counterclockwise. So that's all one way to tell if you got your belt on correctly and stuff like that. And on your blade here, The wider section, if you look at the profile, this section here is the leading edge. This is trailing edge, just like an airplane prop. And your leading edge goes into the wind when it's turning. So, but I'll do that in depth whenever we get ready to put them back on. There's nothing much you can do about the fly bar. You just got to be careful when you run it up. So, let's see here. I have already forgotten what size these are in here, and I believe it is the smallest Allen wrench I have. So this is where you want 2 Allen wrenches in a sense. So you can use two 90s or 2 regular Allen wrenches if that's what you got. No big deal, and it's all metric. And one side or the other is going to come apart, and it looks like the side we need is actually coming apart, so that's a good thing. But I really don't want my bearings coming out, but that's okay. I left the where's the camera? There it is. I left the bearings on the nut, or on the little bolt. We're working right in here. We pulled the bolt we pulled out was right here, and the thrust bearing and the little spacer washer, it's all right there. Alrighty, so now our broke blade grip, it got the little pin broke off right here. We can just slide it off. You got a radial bearing here. You have the other side of the thrust bearing inside there, and another radial bearing. And for this, all you do is take you an Allen wrench and you push it out. There's the race for your thrust bearing. Oh, and as I disassembled it, there was a shim behind that thrust bearing. It takes a little bit of force to get the radial bearings out. There's the first one. And then whenever I'm pulling parts out, I usually lay them out in order I remove them. Okay. There's the other bearing, and there was a brass shim or spacer in between the 2 radial bearings. We just lay them all out just like that so we know how they go back together. Alright, you got, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little brass washer here with the little groove on it. The little groove points to the bearing, and the flat side goes to the dampener, that rubber dampener that's in the head. And honestly, we don't even have to mess with this linkage or nothing. When we put the new blade grip on, we just slide that on, run the screw down. Here we go with the new blade grips. Okay, they give you new hardware, new spacers, new shims, the little brass rings I was telling you about. But we don't have the screw. That's supposed to be a little Allen screw with a washer. I'll see if I can find one. Alright, got our blade grip. And I usually start with the bearing that goes on the inside first. And a lot of times it's a good idea to just slide it onto a screwdriver, insert it. That way it stays straight, in a sense. There it goes. It just kind of fell off in there. Yeah, you kind of see it in there. And then you just kind of work it side to side till it kind of quits moving. Then you flip it over, you'll see a ridge in there, and you'll see it seated down in there. Then we take that brass spacer, we flip our blade grip over, and we stick it in there. Use your screwdriver, just lay it flat inside there. Oh, barely see it. I got all my lights on, but alright, then we take our other radial bearing and we place it over that brass washer we just did on the back side of the blade grip. There you go. Now, just like the bearing that goes on the inside, we take the real thin shim, we place it on our screwdriver, hang on one second, I'm telling you wrong. You slide the race on first. Well, actually, if you want to get real good at it, you slide the outer race on first. I need a different Allen screw. Alright, there we go. We got our outer race, we got the thrust bearing. We're going to take the inner race of the thrust bearing, we'll slide it on, and then we'll put our shim in there. And then we got this little assembly right here, and all you got to do is run your Allen wrench in there like such, flip it upside down, and they're all in there. And so sometimes you can kind of give them a little poke or to seat that inner race, and there it is, it's ready to go. Excuse the mess real quick. I forgot one thing you need, and that is a blue Loctite. Alright. My bottle's worn out, but there's blue Loctite. Alright. We kind of spin the head around to us. Then I actually put the bolt and the bolt washer on my Allen wrench. And then you just want to put just enough to get the threads wet. I mean, you don't want much of none on there, pretty much. Alright. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my nut and bolts and I actually hold my bearings on while I come on with the blade grip. Let's see. Need my other Allen wrench. Just kind of put a little bit of pressure, just a little bit, and it'll start screwing down. And you don't have to get it super tight. You just want to snug it. And then here we are. We're putting the link on. And the link's right there. Now, being they didn't... I can't believe they didn't send the bolts and the washers in the package. Generally, that would come with it. Let's see here. $12, $12, $12, $12. Okay, the bolt comes with this seesaw arm right here, and it is not part of the blade grip. So this little short arm that's up here in the front, this seesaw arm that runs across that actually attaches to the blade grip, is all part of 12. And the two ball links that actually screw into that seesaw deal. So that's pretty much it. That was changing the blade grip, and like I said, when you get ready to install the blades, you want the leading edge going clockwise when you install them. Just slide them in, put your bolts in, which I've got to rebind it and everything.